This is the Stingray Show, and this evening we have the Sweet 16 matchups beginning, including the Arkansas Razorbacks and the Longhorns of Texas. Texas squares off against Big Ten foe Purdue, and then Arkansas takes on Big 12 foe and number one seed Arizona. We are going to break down both games in depth and give you matchups to look for, the advantages and disadvantages for both teams, and all of that to get you ready for the two SEC teams that play this evening right here on the Stingray Show for Arkansas and Texas.
Hi, this is Tim Brando with a reminder. Look out, you're about to feel the buzz of Stingray.
This is Stephen Ray, a.k.a. Stingray, coming to you live from Tuscaloosa, Alabama.
I'm Heath Hopkins. I'm here in DeSoto County, Mississippi, right outside of Memphis, Tennessee. You know, Mark, I'm going to put you on the spot. Do you feel that responsibility to pay it forward and give some kid a chance coming up in the ranks, kind of like Tony did for you?
Why do you think I'm talking to Stingray tonight?
Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
No, I mean, look, no.
Hey, Stingray, Here's the deal. When you get involved with Texas, it's like getting married to a stripper. and let me explain this. It looks good. It's kind of sexy on the surface. Yeah. But then you get the baggage, you get the drama, you get all that eventually comes with it. And that's what you get with Texas, and that's what the Big 12 learned.
And Heath, any thoughts on our show moving forward?
Hey, with the Stingray Show, if you don't like it, you better learn to love it, because it's the best show going today, baby. Woo!
How would you like to live where you love in the state of Alabama? Whether it is you're upsizing, downsizing, retiring at the beach, or relocating for your job, then you are going to want to contact Celeste Hagler, owner of First Class Real Estate South Home Group, with brokers in Tuscaloosa, Orange Beach, and Huntsville. They can help you with the buying, selling, and investment needs throughout the state of Alabama. You can contact Celeste at 205-861-5698. Once again, that is 205-861-5698, and schedule a consultation to discuss your real estate goals anywhere across the state of Alabama. And with that, we want to welcome you inside the Thursday edition of the Stingray Show. And Heath, it is two things today. One, it is opening day for Major League Baseball. I know you are so excited about that. And it is also, Heath, the start of the Sweet 16 in March Madness. Now tonight, we have Purdue and Texas out of the SEC, followed by the Arkansas Razorbacks going up against another number one seed in Arizona. And Arizona is likely to be the weakest of the number one seeds remaining, as said by our good friend Tim Brando. Heath, briefly on the matchups tonight, which one are you most looking forward to, Purdue, Texas, or Arkansas and Arizona?
Oh, definitely Arkansas, Arizona.
Yeah.
You know, I don't have Arizona making the Final Four, but I never have. Arizona's a phenomenal basketball program.
Yeah.
You know, Lute Olson built that program. Lute Doggy Dog, as they used to refer to him as. But he is a phenom of a coach. He has won just a tremendous program for decades. But since he retired, you know, that program's been up and down.
Right.
But, you know, John Calipari in Arkansas, they're just a fun team to watch. And, you know, they've got the guards, you know, but they're big guys. So underrated. So you got to watch them. You got to watch them. But I had Texas in my Sweet 16. I think I'm the only one in America that had Texas in the Sweet 16. Mm-hmm. But I don't have Texas moving forward after tonight.
Now, Heath, outside of the SEC, the other matchups are Illinois and Houston. That is a 3-2 matchup. That is the very late game at 9:05. And then we've also got a Big Ten clash between Iowa and Nebraska. So Purdue, Texas, Iowa, and Nebraska are the first two early games. And then the late games are Arkansas, Arizona, and then Illinois and Houston, and then the other games are played tomorrow.
Yeah, Sweet 16 is always fun. This is usually my favorite round of the tournament, these next two rounds, just because there's Cinderellas that shouldn't be there that are there, and there's a lot of energy and passion behind their play. Some teams are just very determined, like, hey, we're on a mission, we're going to do this. Others play tight, and it's just crazy to see. But the teams that we always love watching, Stephen, and it doesn't matter which round it is, but it's more important in the first two rounds and here in the third and fourth round, is those teams that just come out red stinking hot.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's just a player that carries his team. Sometimes it's just a team that shoots for 81%, something crazy like that. They just don't miss. And, those teams are so fun to watch. And we'll just have to wait and see what happens.
All right, now Heath, let's begin the breakdown of the two matchups with the one that you are most looking forward to, Arkansas and Arizona. The matchups to watch, Darius Acuff Jr. for Arkansas versus Jaden Bradley of Arizona. Acuff is averaging 30 points per game over the last 5 games and is arguably the hottest guard left in the tournament, and Bradley is Arizona's steady floor general who controls the pace and the tempo.
Yeah, different styles of play, but both excellent players, and it's going to be fun. Who's the more talented team? Arizona. Who's the hotter team? Arkansas. And so that's what makes these games so much fun.
Now, here is another interesting matchup. Trayvon Brazile of Arkansas's front court versus Kravis for Arizona. Kravis is a 14 rebound and 3 block interior force a game. Arkansas's injury concerns with Brazile and Nick Pringle could become a major storyline because Arkansas needs size to survive, because Arkansas has only 6 people available in the rotation for this evening due to the injury concerns of Brazile and Nick Pringle.
Yeah. One thing about Arkansas, man, and some people have already forgotten it. Who won the SEC title, Stephen?
Arkansas.
Right. Arkansas fans haven't forgotten it, but
right.
This Arkansas team, they closed out the season pretty strong. They were red smoking hot in the SEC tournament, and they're looking so good right now. So, again, they're going against a better team, a more talented team. I'm all over the place. Coughs, dry mouth, yawns. But really, really looking forward to this matchup because, again, Arkansas is the hot team.
Yes.
And Calipari will have them ready. So it'll be interesting. And I'll say this about hot teams, Stephen. Sometimes they just go flat, and you hate that. They just won't get a shot to, they just can't get a shot to sink. They can't do anything about it. And, they might get into some foul trouble or a bad break during a fast break and you pick up a foul that gets them in foul trouble. And then you're just like, oh, it's spinning out of control.
Yes.
And that happens. That's basketball. But, But at the same time, there's so much energy and excitement surrounding this game. So just look forward to it.
All right. Now, I've got a few more matchups and advantages and disadvantages for both teams. Arkansas's transition game versus Arizona's elite rebounding. We talked about that. Now, Arkansas wants chaos and a very, very fast pace. Arizona ranks fourth nationally in offensive rebounding rate and thrives in a more methodical style of offense. So it is going to be the fast pace of football on dirt, basically of a sprint in basketball versus a very methodical style of taking the shot clock all the way down and completely drawing out the game for the Arkansas and Arizona matchup.
Yeah, Arkansas, they like to play tempo. They like to get those points in transition. When you go fast, that's when you start reaching and you start getting the other team in foul trouble. Then the other way around is you got, Arizona there grinding that clock, kind of working it, more of a physical style, and it kind of beats you up, wear you down. And so it's going to be interesting to see how each of them contradict each other's play and try to make the other one play the other's game. So it's going to be very interesting. But I'm telling you, the Arkansas big men are underrated. I still think Arizona wins this game, but I am not going to be shocked at all if Arkansas pulls it out. I'm pulling for Arkansas. I want Arkansas to win, but don't be shocked if you see Arkansas's big men take over this game and kind of control some of that rebounding.
Now, the brief advantages for Arkansas, they have a red-hot offense averaging 92 points per game over the last 4 games, and of course they are battle-tested SEC champs with 7 straight wins. Now, for Arizona, elite on both ends, one of the most efficient offenses and defenses in the country. They do have a size advantage over Arkansas because of the injury situation. 5 players are projected to go this evening in double figures for Arizona. So this is going to be a major matchup, and Arizona is 25-0 this season when scoring 79 points or more, and they usually do. Now, briefly, some of the disadvantages for both teams. Injuries to Pringle and Brazil could be decisive for Arkansas. Short rotation because they've only got 6 reliable players right now for Arkansas, and a major one is the rebounding disadvantage versus Arizona's length. That could be very, very problematic for Arkansas, and if you're Arizona, the tempo concerns. If Arkansas turns this into a track meet, or Arizona can be uncomfortable, and the turnover vulnerability if Arkansas thrives on the chaos and turning it into a track meet.
Yeah, and none of us are going to know until tip off, and I wouldn't be shocked if you start seeing contrasting styles throughout the game.
Right.
That might be the game plan for one, if not both these teams. So Arkansas might come out like, hey, let's take it slow. Let's start things slow. And then after the first media timeout, like, okay, let's go to transition and play tempo here. You don't know. You don't know. But I do look forward to this matchup. I'm telling you, I think of all the Sweet 16 games, this is the one I'm looking forward to the most. It might be the most boring game, one way or the other, but I'm looking to this one the most.
All right, briefly, let's pick it. Who's moving on to the Elite Eight, Arizona or Arkansas?
I got Arizona.
Yeah. And I'm going to tell you why. One thing, injuries to Brazil and Pringle. I think with only 6 guys, you're going to see Arkansas fight. But in the end, with about 5 minutes to go, 2 minutes to go, Arizona is going to pull away just because of the tired legs of Arkansas. I think only 6 available players ultimately get to Calipari and Arkansas.
Fair enough. Very fair enough.
And I will also say, in the second season for John Calipari up on the hill, as they say in Arkansas, getting this team to the Sweet 16, I would say that they overperformed this season. So things are definitely on the up in Fayetteville with John Calipari moving forward, because last year he got them to the tournament, and then this year he got them to the Sweet 16, and hopefully for the SEC's sake, they can be playing on Saturday in the Elite Eight.
Well, there you go, man. I look forward to this. It's going to be, I think it's going to be a good game for majority of it. I just see Arizona pulling this thing out later in the game.
Right. Now, let's go to the other matchup of Purdue and Texas, Heath. Now, some of the advantages for Purdue, they are the number 2 adjusted offensive efficiency in the nation. They have elite ball movement and elite shot quality. Their low turnover rate, and they don't beat themselves. Major efficiency versus Texas's 94 ranked defense, and their size is, and the discipline inside gives them a major advantage over Texas.
Yeah, I had Texas in my Sweet 16, but I didn't have them going any further after this game.
Now, Texas is on momentum right now after winning 3 straight and including a massive upset over Gonzaga last weekend, and Texas has nothing to lose in this game. Swan's matchup versatility. He can guard multiple positions and create mismatches for the Texas Longhorns, and offensive firepower, as Texas is the 19th adjusted offensive efficiency in the country.
Yeah, I like Purdue, but you know Purdue historically has been known to lay eggs in the tournament. Under Gene Cady here a couple of years ago, Purdue for the longest time I think was the only number 2 seed that lost, and then they lose again in even a worse situation.
Yeah.
So, but I do like Purdue. I think Purdue will win this game. And again, Texas played hot, but good Lord, sorry. Texas played hot, but I just don't see them overcoming the offensive firepower of Purdue. I just don't see it happening.
Now, the disadvantages for Purdue, they can struggle if forced into a track meet, and just like in the other matchup, Arkansas wants pace, Texas wants fast tempo paced as well, and Purdue, if Braden Smith gets into foul trouble, the offense usually loses rhythm. Now, for Texas, the defensive metrics are a major red flag. The bottom third in field goal defense and 3-point defense. Their interior matchup versus Kaufman-Wren is a major disadvantage for Texas. And finally, Purdue's discipline makes it hard to force turnovers.
Yeah, I mean, that's what everyone wants to talk about, how much Purdue can score. But they don't talk about, as you mentioned, the discipline, Stephen. And that's such a key factor. And I think that's one of the factors why Purdue will push forward through tonight. So it'll be interesting. I think Texas fans are happy. Do they want to go further? Yes. But I think they'll be happy if things end tonight.
Dude, I mean, they were one of the last 4 teams in a play-in game, and here they are in the Sweet 16. I say this was a successful basketball season for them.
Yeah, you know, if I'm not mistaken, the last time an SEC team played a play, I haven't had anything to eat. I've only had water this morning. I haven't had my tea or anything, Stephen, or my Dr. Pepper, nothing. Anyway, Tennessee played in a play-in game when Conzo Martin was the head coach at Tennessee.
I remember that.
And poor Conzo Martin, man, folks up in Knoxville, folks up on Rocky Top just did not give him a chance because he wasn't Bruce Pearl. They were still upset of losing Bruce Pearl. And so, he came in and they were upset that he wasn't winning as much as Bruce Pearl was, and then he starts to win. But they were a play-in team. He got him to the Sweet 16. Then he left.
Right.
And I understand why. I get it. I understand it. I mean, he just never felt welcome there. And but Gonzo, man, I think he was the first team ever to play in the play-in game and make it to the Sweet 16. And several teams have done it since. Not a lot, but Texas can now put their name on that distinguished list.
Yes. Now, Heath, getting back to the first matchup this evening, which is Purdue and Texas, this one is going to be the key for me, and this one really stood out to me. Fletcher Lawyer, who is a 3-point specialist for Purdue, averages 39% from three. He stretches defense. Texas allows 35% from deep, which is the bottom third nationally. A very dangerous matchup against Purdue's spacing. Because of all of that, I've got the Bullers moving on to Saturday to the Elite Eight.
I'm okay with that prediction. I'm completely okay with that one. We'll just have to wait and see. And I like Purdue in this. I don't want to pick against the SEC, but my first two picks in the morning are against the SEC.
Yes.
Will I be cheering for the SEC in both? Abso-freaking-lutely. All day long. But yeah. John, I don't know. I saw your message earlier. I don't know. It'll be interesting.
I don't think anybody knows what Oates is going to do, especially since they are still in March Madness right now. They're focused on the Michigan Wolverines for tomorrow, and so we will cover the Oates situation after they get through with Michigan and this season after the season is over.
If there is a situation, I mean, it's hard. There's a couple of schools, when they call you, it's hard to turn down.
Right.
In basketball, if
Duke.
Kentucky calls, Duke, North Carolina, UCLA, Kansas.
I don't know about UCLA, man. They have not been relevant in so long.
I'm with you on that, but it's easy to recruit to Los Angeles.
Right.
And that the folks in Los Angeles, they're fickle people. But if you can get that thing rolling, that place is jam packed out.
Yes.
But yeah, if you can get it going at those places, yeah, it's a no brainer. You go. If they call, you go.
I would say right now, based off of the latest metrics of school perception on the West Coast, I would say Gonzaga overtakes UCLA by a mile right now.
There could be an argument for that. There could be an argument.
Gonzaga has done so much more here recently over the past decade than UCLA.
Yeah, I thought it was funny that a couple of Gonzaga fans were saying Mark Few should step down. They should move on. He's had 27 years to win a national title. And I was like, are you kidding me?
Right.
That's like the worst take ever.
Yes.
There was not a program before Mark Few. And
right.
I think you'd be making a huge mistake.
Yeah.
And Mark Few's only got a couple more years. I mean, is he really going to coach 40 seasons? I don't see that happening.
No.
So, does he make it to 30? I don't know. But I think he goes out on his terms.
Yes. Now, Heath, the other matchups, Iowa and Nebraska. Nebraska is a 1.5-point favorite. I'm going to go with a Cinderella story. I'm going to go Nebraska continues on to the Elite Eight.
I tell you one thing, Nebraska fans have had the best week ever.
Oh, yes.
By far. Like, they've never been to the Sweet 16. And this is all new, and this is fun, and this is exciting. So, shout out to Nebraska and your fans. Cornhuskers enjoy this. have fun with this. I don't know. It strikes midnight for Cinderella everywhere.
Right.
It's got to end sometime. I will be pulling for the Cornhuskers. I want the Cornhuskers to win. I just don't see it happening, man. I just think that this is a real big stage. There's a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
And here's the thing, Stephen. When you're at a school that's never done it before, although Nebraska has won national titles in football and other sports and wrestling and this and that, they've never done it anything big in basketball. This is the best basketball team in team history.
Yeah.
And you come back from after the first and second round and you're in the Sweet 16 and you're in town, you're in Lincoln, Nebraska, you're on campus there. Everybody is coming up to you. Everybody's taking a picture. Everybody's getting an autograph. Everybody's, wanting a piece of you. Everyone's wishing you good things. And emotionally, man, that's a lot of energy being spent. And when it gets to the game, you might be a little tired. You're still excited, but you just can't stay on an emotional high for an entire week and go play a basketball game. And I've seen it a million times, but heaven forbid if they win this game. It would be so fun to see their fans.
Heath, for this to be the best team in program history for Nebraska, only 6 losses in the season is not too shabby, and to be a national 4 seed is not too bad either.
Oh, no. No, I didn't look to see if they've ever been seated higher. I doubt that they have, but it's possible.
Right.
But, it's always good to see a team kind of get over that hump and do it for the first time. And you got to be proud for those guys. Stephen, when they show footage of the fans in the stands or the cheerleaders or, whether it be a manager or something there on the bench or parents, there's just this huge grin for teams like Nebraska. And that just warms your heart, man. You love it for them.
All right, Heath, are you ready to transition into the post show?
Yeah, let's do it, man.
All right. So, guys, here is the National Day of Today, National History, and, of course, National Birthdays. Heath, where do you want to start?
No deaths?
We got one.
Let's do the death.
All right. This guy, let's see, right here. He died on this day in 1993. He is best known for his role in Ironside, Perry Mason, and 2 Godzilla films.
I don't know, man. Who was it?
Raymond Burr.
Oh, I should have known that. I thought it was like a supporting actor there with Perry Mason. Dude, years ago, Stephen, oh gosh, this is maybe 10 years ago. Could be longer than that. I was we had moved into our house, our very first house. Me and my wife, we bought our first house. And this was back when you got cable. And we were waiting for cable. And smart TVs were kind of a new thing. And we had a Roku TV my wife had bought for our bedroom. And so we had some like local channels and some things that we could see. And so anyway, it was late on a Sunday night. Put on Perry Mason. I was like, I have actually never watched an episode of Perry Mason in my life. And I was like, this show has been on for years. It had a very long-standing run, and it was considered one of the best shows ever in television history. And I've never watched an episode. So I sat there on Sunday night at 10 o'clock, watched my first episode of Perry. Dude, that is a great show.
Yes. That
was so well written. And I was like, man, no wonder the show was dynamic. But if you feel a little nostalgic and you want to watch a little black and white TV, put on Perry Mason. If you want something to ooh and ah over and really feed you intellectually and keep your interest, Perry Mason's that show. If your bracket is shot, you've had a long week of work, and you're fighting the flu, Perry Mason's not the show for you.
Right.
So, but yeah, it's a solid show.
All right. Are you ready to go to the birthdays?
Yeah. Hey, when did Milton Berle pass away?
Raymond Burr.
Raymond Burr, excuse me.
93.
Wow. Steven, that was a long time ago. That's 33 years ago.
Yep.
Wow.
Birthdays?
Yeah, birthdays. Let's do it.
All right. Trivia time. Who is considered one of the best poets of all time?
Oh, man.
He was born on this day in 1874, died in 1963.
Is he an American?
I believe so, yes.
Edgar Allan Poe, maybe? I doubt
Robert Frost.
it. Oh, really? Wow.
Robert Frost.
Wow. I have read some of Robert Frost stuff. I can't remember anything about it. It's been a super long time ago. But I remember sitting there reading it, and I was like, wow, this is nice.
Now,
yeah, I can't remember anything.
We have 4 musicians and 4 singers that have birthdays today. Let me run through them. March the 26th, 1944, she is still living. She is the lead singer for the Supremes, Diana Ross.
Did you ever see that We Are the World documentary on Netflix? Watch that, Stephen. You would thoroughly enjoy it. Watch that with your family. Diana Ross is they're part of the group, and you immediately fall in love with Diana Ross. You don't know how sweet of a soul she really is until you watch that documentary, and you're like, wow. Like I never heard anything bad about Diana Ross, but I never really cared. I like Diana Ross, but I'm not like a fan.
Right.
And so, but after I watched it, I was like, man, I'd like to be neighbors with Diana Ross. I was like, she is just a wonderful, wonderful, sweet lady. It'll warm your heart. But yeah, check out that We Are the World documentary on Netflix.
Heath, it is also the birthday of a gentleman, 1948, the lead singer and founder of Aerosmith, Steven Tyler.
Oh, man. There was a rock radio station, a long-standing rock radio station in Memphis, Rock 103. They changed formats. I'm not excited about that. Still upset. Now it's 101.9, Rock 102. I'm like, why can't we just keep Rock 103? It's only Rock 103 for like ever, 50 whatever years. But
Right.
They had a segment of Steven Tyler, and he was like singing this crazy thing, and only the Steve Tyler way. But he's like, your mama wants to do me. Rock 103, Memphis. I was like, what in the world? It always used to tickle me. But anytime I see or hear Steven Tyler, the very first thing that goes through my head is that radio promo. Your mama wants to do me. Rock 103, Memphis.
That's
Yeah, it makes me laugh every time.
Heath, did you know that Steven Tyler tried his hand at acting in one movie?
I did know this, and it's Wayne's World.
No, there's one more.
Oh, boy. What is it?
John Travolta, Uma Thurman, The Rock, and Cedric the Entertainer. He had a cameo appearance in Be Cool.
I didn't know that.
Yes.
I ran into Steven Tyler in New Orleans one time. I had a buddy of mine coaching college football. He was at Northwestern State in Natchitoches, Louisiana, and they were playing Nichols State, which is there in Thibodaux.
Yep.
And like 40 minutes away from Thibodaux is New Orleans. And so I was a young reporter in television. He was my old roommate. I actually lived next door to him. Matter of fact, I'm fixing to go to a funeral with him. One of our coaches passed away, and he actually grew up on our street. And we went to church with him and his family, his son and his daughter. But we went to go get us a bite that night, and we were hanging out, and we walked into a place, and I mean, this is like, I want to say they were playing on Thursday night, so this is like a Wednesday night in the French Quarter.
Right.
So I mean, it's late. Like, I got off work, I drove down there. They had practice. They drove down there. So I don't think they checked into the team hotel until like 9 o'clock. I don't think I pulled into town until like 9:45. As soon as I pulled into town, picked him up, and we went to New Orleans. And we were just hanging out, laughing. But we walked in, and we noticed that there was like all these people right there in this corner. And I was like, I wonder what's going on here. And like, we were just walking by to go to our table. And lo and behold, we get up to the table, and it's Steven Tyler. I mean, he's like 3 to 4 feet away from me.
Mm-hmm.
And we make eye contact, and he's like, "What's up, fellas?" Holy Jesus, Steven Tyler.
Right.
We didn't bother him, but it was all these girls getting autographs from him and things. And we went and sat down and enjoyed our night and went on our way.
Heath, let me also, because I know you're on a time crunch, I'm going to run through the rest of the birthdays today. We have a lady who was born in 1949. She is still with us today, and oddly enough, she is now a staple at Comic-Con events, signing autographs and taking pictures with people. She is known as Mama in Mama's Family. She also recorded the song The Nights the Lights Went Out in Georgia in 1972, American actress Vicki Lawrence.
Yeah, Vicki Lawrence is amazing.
Yeah.
That was such a great show, man. What was her son's name? Vince?
Yeah, something like that. I haven't watched much of that show.
Oh, it's a great show. Vince and Naomi. You gotta love it.
Right.
But yeah, good stuff. Just a great show. But
Now, the next person, I did not know this about him. He is an R&B singer who is still living. Born in 1950, he was severely injured in an auto accident in 1982, which paralyzed him from the chest down. He is known for Never Knew Love Like This Before.
who's that?
Teddy Pendergrass.
Oh,
Had
man.
no idea he was paralyzed from a car injury in 1982.
The one thing about Teddy Pendergrass that I absolutely love is he sings one of my all-time favorite songs, One Shining Moment. Yes, that One Shining Moment they play at the end of the big dance of the NCAA tournament.
Right.
After they crown the champion and they show that video, they play the same song every year. And I love that. So, matter of fact, Steven, when we get close to March, I got it on my phone. I bought it years ago on iTunes. Matter of fact, that might have been one of the very first songs I ever bought, just because I love that song. But, the ball is tipped, and there you are, running for your life. You're a shooting star. Just a wonderful, wonderful song. And if they had a channel that just played One Shining Moments, one after the other, after the other, after the other, like, I would probably sit and watch it once a week.
Right.
I just absolutely love that song. And I always love that video that they do. But, yeah, One Shining Moment, Teddy Pendergrass.
Now, Heath, going to basketball, I want to know if you can tell me who this is. He is 63 years young. He spent his entire NBA career as a point guard for one team, the Utah Jazz from 84 to 2003. He is regarded as one of the best point guards of all time. He holds the NBA record for most career assists and steals by a considerable margin.
One Johnny Stockton.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Today's his birthday.
John Stockton on the Dream Team, man.
Yes.
Johnny Stockton. Yeah. Everyone looked at him because he looked like he was like an accountant or something. You know, his hair was always parted and this and that. Look, a dad out there playing basketball. Johnny Stockton was salty, man. He had a little dirt in his game, but he was so fun to watch, man. You could put Johnny Stockton on almost any team and it makes them better, if not every team.
Yes.
I mean, how he dished the ball and what he brought to his game. Yeah, Mario's with me. Mario, yeah. Johnny Stockton just did things at a different level.
Yeah.
And it's kind of sad. Like Jason Kidd was kind of that player as well. And we've seen other players like this. But, you know, Stockton was not an ego guy. And that's what made Stockton – I think if Johnny Stockton played in today's NBA, he was a very well-paid player as it was. I mean, he was an NBA All-Star. But I think his value just skyrockets today just because there wasn't that ego there. He comes in, he makes everybody on the court better. He can dish it and what he can do. I mean, he could shoot. His defense was there. I mean, Johnny Stockton, man, that guy had skills, man. He wasn't a flashy player, but he was fun to watch.
Right. How
he did things. But again, he just looked like some dad accountant out there hooping it up. And everyone went to the baggy shorts, not Johnny Stockton. Oh, he's going to stay true to his tiny little – we used to call those nut huggers. So, he's wearing his tiny little shorts out there. I don't know what else to call them. That's what they used to call them, the nut huggers.
The final birthday, and we're just going to run through this and skip over it because we are on a time crunch for you going to a funeral. Today is the birthday of country music singer, guitarist who has done numerous concerts, including stadium tours, Kenny Chesney.
Oh, boy. Yeah, we don't have time for that story today.
1968. So that was his birthday.
So, see, he's born in 68. That's going to put him at what, 67? 68? Or 58? Excuse me, 57, 58?
Oh, yeah, okay. I was about to say 68, and I don't know about that.
Yeah, that's 60, yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's go to the history of today. The Congress, back in 1804, organizes the Louisiana Purchase Territory, which the U.S. formally creates the Territory of Orleans and the District of Louisiana, setting the stage for westward expansion.
Wow. What year was that?
1804.
Jeez Louise. Stephen, that was a long, long time ago.
Now, Heath, you may want to cover your ears because you do not want to hear this next thing because of how serious it was for your area. Can you tell me what happened on this day in 1812?
I don't know. My ears were closed. No, I'm joking. No, what happened?
One of the final major New Madrid earthquakes hits, altering river channels and affecting communities across the central U.S. and actually made the Mississippi River flow backwards.
Yeah. There is Reelfoot Lake from one of the earthquakes from New Madrid that made the river run backwards. I don't know which one it was. But that's how Reelfoot Lake was created.
Yeah,
is because of that, and that's a nice lake. That's a pretty lake. A lot of fishing goes on there. But I had a great family friend pass away at Reelfoot Lake. He was a wonderful athlete. He had 3 kids, 2 boys and a girl. Mr. Billy Buchanan, and was fishing. and he had one of his boys with him, and his son heard a splash. He turned around, and his dad was gone. And they don't know if he had a heart attack or he was a phenomenal swimmer. He was a tremendous athlete. There's no alcohol involved, nothing like that. But they were just fishing, and all of a sudden he heard a splash, and his son laughed and kind of turned around. I was like, "Did you fall in?" And he never came up.
Right.
And no one knows what happened.
Right.
But he popped up a couple of days later. But yeah, Reelfoot Lake, created from one of the earthquakes from the New Madrid earthquake. And, Stephen, I want to say the New Madrid fault line is the largest fault line in America.
Yes.
And we were told as little kids growing up in this area that one day the big earthquake's going to come get us. It's going to come get us and sink us all. Well,
now, Heath, briefly, 3 things left. 2 of them are about the NCAA basketball tournament. The first one, can you tell me the year the tournament has the first true Final Four format?
Well, I can't. I have no idea, Stephen. 1938. I have no idea.
1952. It was the 14th NCAA men's basketball championship. Kansas beat St. John's that year 80-63, and it was the first tournament to have a true Final Four format, which we still have today.
Yeah. I can't remember the years, but I remember it was the 80s. They kind of did it kind of like the women do it. It's kind of like right now the women can host like the first 2 rounds, and there'll be like another game there and this and that. Like there's 4 schools, and you get to host. Years ago, if you were good enough, you could host. But one year, a lower seed, and this is back when it had 48 teams. We weren't at 64 yet, but we were at 48 teams. And there was LSU was hosting, but LSU didn't have a high enough record. And yeah, thank you, buddy.
Thank you. Appreciate that, man.
Absolutely. But LSU hosted.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to say they had like a Chinese player on their team that year. Because I remember they put his first name, not his last name, on the back of his jersey. And but LSU hosted, and they were not a high seed. And the LSU fan base, as we have heard multiple times before in the SEC, their fan base just took over.
Yeah.
And LSU went on a run, and it made a lot of people upset.
Mm-hmm.
And so after that, no more on campus hosting.
Right.
I'm like, yeah, LSU ruined it for everybody. But
now, Heath, 2 things left. 1973. What TV soap opera premieres on CBS? And it was very, very popular.
Is it the one that comes on after Price is Right, The Young and the Restless?
It is.
There you go. The only reason I know that is because it comes on after Price is Right. And I was a kid, when you heard that piano intro, you were just depressing. Like,
all
right.
right.
All the fun's off TV for the morning.
Heath, let's finish up with basketball talk and then one major movie that was released today. First off, the 41st Men's Basketball Championship in 1979 marks the start of the rivalry between 2 players. Who am I talking about?
Probably Bird and Magic. Magic and Bird.
Michigan State beats Indiana State, marking the start of Magic and Larry Bird. And to this date, that is the highest rated game in the history of televised college basketball.
Probably because back then, and I want to say that was the last year NBC had the tournament.
Mm-hmm.
CBS has had the tournament ever since then. but NBC used to have the big dance on, and CBS took it over. But yeah, Indiana State and
Michigan State.
yeah, and Michigan State. Larry Bird originally went to Indiana,
Yep.
and Indiana had an undefeated season and won the national title. But Bird went off to school. He had some family problems at home. His father, I think, took his own life, or I can't remember exactly what happened, but something happened, and Bird had to come home. And Bird was supposed to be a part of that team. And he came home. He worked for the city of French Lick. That's where he's from, French Lick, Indiana. Worked for the city of French Lick.
Right.
And he was scraping off roadkill. And Indiana State went to him, talked to him. It's like, Larry, you need to be playing basketball. Got him back.
Yeah.
He went to Indiana State and took over.
Right.
And Indiana State, a few years ago, Indiana State had still not been to the tournament since Larry Bird left. I think they've been twice since. But Larry Bird says to this day he is still very thankful for that job that the city of French Lick gave him during that time. But he also said that him and Magic, HBO did a wonderful documentary on them years ago. That documentary is probably 15 years old now, maybe older, maybe closer to 20. But they did a documentary on them, and Larry has said that him and Magic both said there's not a day that goes by that someone does not ask them about the other.
Right.
Magic's always getting asked about Bird. Bird is always getting asked about Magic. And they did not like each other for the long time. Larry says that documentary is so funny. He goes, there's Magic and then there's Irvin. And he goes, Magic, I can't stand. I don't like. Irvin, he goes, I like him. He's a good guy.
Right.
But he talked about those two. And it is crazy.
And Heath, finally, because I know that you were on a time crunch, can you tell me what major movie franchise gets its fifth film March the 26th of 1985? And you talk about the series a lot.
1985, and it was the fifth movie?
Yes, in the franchise. And it comes out in theaters.
Rocky IV came out in 86 or 87. So it's not Rocky. It's the fifth of the franchise. I don't know. I mean, I'm not a Star Wars fan. Is it some Star Wars movie? No. All right, give me. What could that be? What is it, Stephen?
A New Beginning, Friday the 13th. Now, oddly enough, Jason was not the killer in that movie.
Was he not?
It says, keeping the Jason Voorhees mythology alive, even without Jason as the killer.
I know I've seen it. I haven't watched it in forever. They shot one of those movies. I think it was Friday the 13th, Part 7. I think they filmed that down in Alabama somewhere.
Right.
Some lake right down there. I can't remember where it was. I can't remember if it was Mobile. I want to say it was somewhere in LA, Lower Alabama, but I can't remember.
Mm-hmm.
It could have been Huntsville. I have no idea. I can't remember.
Right.
But
this movie in 1999 was a romantic comedy that helped launch the careers of Julia Stiles and Heath Ledger. 10 Things I Hate About You premieres in the U.S.
Wow. I have not seen that movie all the way through. I've always wanted to see that movie. I I have no good excuses why I haven't. But yeah, 10 things I hate about you.
Yep.
I do know originally. What was Goldie Hawn's daughter's name? I don't. She was originally supposed to play that role.
Yes.
But I see her face. You know who I'm talking about. But she was supposed to originally get that role, but Hollywood things happened, this and that. But yeah, that movie insanely popular back in the day. And yeah, Steven, did you ever see it?
Love it. Love that movie.
There you go. I'll have to put that on the list. Kate Hudson. Thank you, Kay. Thank you, Kay. Kate Hudson.
Yes.
Kate Hudson. Goldie Hawn's daughter. She was originally supposed to play in that movie, but didn't. And I wonder how different that movie would have been with Kate Hudson. Would have been better? Would have been the same? Would have been worse? It's just hard to picture that, you know?
Yes. Heath, it has been a blast, my friend, talking with you today about Purdue, Texas, Arkansas, and Arizona, as well as the national birthdays, the national history, and all of that. And Heath, in parting, I do have to say, make sure today that you eat your daily amount of spinach because today is National Spinach Day.
Wow. Okay.
So
I've been on this
that is
protein
the
kick.
last
I've been
thing.
trying to eat things very high in protein.
What now?
Yeah, I've been on a protein kick. I've been trying to eat things very high in protein.
Right.
Steven, I never really watched what I've eaten my 50 years on this earth. I'm now changing that. I'm trying to eat better. I did have a Dr. Pepper yesterday, but I'm trying to drink better, eat better. So yeah, it's a little different, but I'm trying to go with very high protein things.
Heath is becoming a vegan. He's becoming a vegan.
That's not true.
I know.
That's not true.
All right. So, Heath, we will do a very deep dive like we did today, tomorrow into Alabama and Michigan, and then the Tennessee game as well. So we will be previewing the other two SEC Sweet 16 matchups that include Alabama, Michigan, and then, of course, the Tennessee game late tomorrow night. That will be on the Friday edition of the Stingray Show. Hopefully, you guys will tune in to see it at 8:15 or 8:30 in the morning, and we will see you guys on the Friday edition of the Stingray Show.
And Steven, before I do my signature and get out of here, life is short, everybody.
Yes.
And life is precious. And when I'm getting to the age now where I'm starting to lose a lot of my friends, their parents and coaches and things of that nature, teachers, and it's not easy. And there's a gentleman named David Rice. He lived, I believe, 4 or 5 houses down from me in South Haven, Mississippi on Canterbury Drive. He actually lived in Mecklenburg Cove. He was on the corner of Canterbury and Mecklenburg. But he had a daughter named Melody. That was a couple of years older than me. He had a son named Chris. That was a couple of years younger than me. And he had a sweet wife, Miss Judy. But Mr. David was a fixture at our church. He was a fixture in our community of South Haven. It was a very small community. And at the time, South Haven's it's a big place now. Kirby Smart comes here for baseball tournaments. But, it's never too late to do the right thing. And it's always the right time to go out of your way and tell somebody thank you. My mom being a former school teacher, she has people from time to time, former students, former teachers, folks like that I'll reach out and say, hey, I was going through a hard time and you were there, or I was in your class and you were wonderful. You were the bright shining moment of my life at that time. And thank you for what you did. And listen, if there's anybody out there that comes to mind, and I hope there's a lot of people that come to mind, start jotting them down. Text yourself these people. and reach out. You may not have talked to them in years. You may not have said anything to them since the last day you saw them, but they love hearing those things.
Right.
It makes their day. It makes their heart smile and brings joy to their life. So with that, I got to see Mr. David several times over the years. I hadn't seen him probably 10 years. But I used to bump into him time to time and talk to him. We'd always share a laugh. And I never get that opportunity anymore. And so, yeah, go out of your way. Just take a couple of minutes, a week, a month, whatever,
Yes.
and thank those people that influenced your life. Thank them. I look back, he cared for us boys. He cared about teaching the game of basketball and baseball. He cared for his church. He loved his family, and he served his community. And so with that, Godspeed, Mr. David, Coach David. We're going to miss you. My prayers will be with Miss Judy, Chris, and Melody. And so please go out of your way to thank the ones that impacted your life, even if it was for one season that you played a sport with, or you grew up with them, or they were an old neighbor, someone that taught Sunday school, whatever it might be, an old teacher, whatever. Go and thank them.
Yes.
And Stephen, with that, I hope you, sir, and hey, tip of the cap to you. You were very well prepared today. I don't think you've ever been that prepared for a show.
Thank
That
you.
was dynamic, sir. I was very impressed with that.
I appreciate that.
You're
also,
welcome.
we will finish up with this right here. This is a scheduling little note here. If you are a Texas fan, you guys tip off with Purdue at 6:10 this evening on CBS in San Diego. And then after that, Arkansas, Woo Pig, takes on Arizona as well in San Diego, which means the Elite Eight matchup very well could be Arkansas and Texas if both of them advance. And Arkansas's tip with Arizona is tentatively going to be around 8:45 on CBS.
And there you go. Stephen, I hope you get to enjoy some of this beautiful weather. I hope that you get ready, get all your stuff done so you can have a fun weekend. And with that, my friend, good Lord willing,
Yes.
sayonara. I will see you tomorrow.
Yes, and Heath, hook 'em horns, and Woo Pig. Moving on to the Elite Eight, we will see you guys tomorrow.
I hope they pull it out.
Yes, both of them. Ladies and gentlemen, Bill Ferguson of South's Finest Meats, the official sponsor of the Stingray Show, has a message for you.
Everything we do here is fresh and custom made, custom to order. I tell people when they come in, if you don't see what you like, ask somebody. We've got the capability to process it, make it. If you want a different blend of hamburger meat, we'll do your brisket blend. We'll do your chuck blend. We'll do your sirloin blend. We do all that right here. We are a butcher shop. That's what we do. So please don't be afraid to ask if you don't see what you like. We can make you any size patty you want. We can make you any amount you want. People call me and say, well, how many patties come in the box? Well, ma'am, how many would you like in a box? You want 12, we'll put 12. You want 25, we'll put 25.
That's just one of the many things that South's Finest Meats has to offer, the official butcher shop of the Stingray Show. For over 100 years, the Bank of Moundville has been a name clients can trust. The Bank of Moundville is more than just a bank. They're your neighbors, your friends, and your community partners. Their unique approach to financial education has always centered around families. They believe that financially strong homes today lay the foundation for a brighter futures for tomorrow's generation. You can call them today at 205-371-2227. Once again, that is 371-2227 to schedule an appointment to build your financial security. The Bank of Moundville is a member FDIC and an equal housing lender. It's a new year, and now is the best time to review your insurance policies. With a helpful customer service team here to serve you in Alabama and over in Mississippi for all of your auto, home, life, and business insurance needs, call the Jeff Nee Agency of Alpha Insurance to create a customized plan to protect your family's home and autos. You can stop by his office at 3428 McFarland Boulevard in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, or simply call 205-462-8192, or call the number on your screen right there. And remember, with Alpha Insurance, the more you protect it, the more you save. Reach out to the Jeff Nee Agency of Alpha today for all of your auto, home, life, and business insurance needs. Jeff Bagwell of Honey Hole Fisheries right here in Tuscaloosa, Alabama is a professional biologist who specializes in lake management. If you are interested in helping build the pond or lake of your dreams, or if you need help deciding if property you own is a good location to build a pond, you can contact Jeff Bagwell at 205-799-0192. Once again, that is Jeff Bagwell and Honey Hole Fisheries at 205-799-0192. Contact him today and let him help you build the lake or pond of your dreams, or also stock your pond or lake with fish that you most desperately need.